Not yet. No.
Yeah, now. Okay. Assalamualaikum, everybody. This is the original Scary Ammi, and we're here with Weekends of Joy, which is a collaboration we've done with InstaTUTE. And I'm super excited about this collaboration because you will be able to meet, right? Like sitting at your home through your phones and through your laptops, you will be able to meet the fantastic instructors that InstaTUTE has brought together. Like, really, when you talk to them, you hear them, you will realize how unbelievable they are. And one of the big incentives that InstaTUTE is giving you is that if during the session you like one of the teachers, all you need to do is download the app and you have a 1000 rupee credit after you register to book a trial session with any of these fantastic instructors. So today we have with us Shehla, Imran, who, like, I was listening to her introduction and that alone is like 4 pages long. So let's just say she is extremely accomplished at what she does. She's probably like one of the most experienced teachers in the field of English language acquisition that you will meet. And she's prepared a presentation for us on the theme of readers are leaders. And as we hear from her, you will get to learn more about her. So thank you for joining us, Shehla, and thank you, Adil, for setting this
Thank you so
up. For me,
much.
I know I am like more excited about InstaTUTE than I've been about any other project, because I really do believe that empowering parents, allowing them to choose the best instructors and the best course for their students, for their children, is like unbelievable. So I'm constantly been bugging Adil कि मुझे ये instructors ढूंढने, ये ढूंढने. So you guys, like I told you last time, just dream of the future you want for your kids, and InstaTUTE is ready to help you make it. So Shehla, over to you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we can delve right into this really interesting topic of
Right.
readers are leaders.
Right. Okay. First of all, thank you so much, Aisha, for giving me this opportunity to be here live with your group of moms and maybe homemakers and homeschooling moms as well. Well, as far as I'm concerned, like I said earlier, I'm not going to have a very long introduction as such, but I've been associated with the field of education for almost decades now, and in various capacities as well. I've been, working as a teacher, as a trainer, as well as a education consultant, and as an academic head currently as well. So I work with many renowned organizations world over as well, and continuously contributing throughout in my career. I've been publishing articles, and I've also worked recently as a content strategist or a content developer. So definitely there have been a lot of changing roles that I've been through and throughout my life. That means all along that you from school till the college level, I've taught, and I've been sort of experienced all different kinds of teaching and learning taking place or occurring, so to say. And today's topic is also very, very relevant and very interesting and exciting. Readers are leaders. And no doubt, something that we need to point out early on in the children's lives as parents as well, that we need to, of course, work on the fact that, our children become readers, and that would, sort of place them on that highway of success, so to speak. And definitely, I've used this phrase such as experience, and not just experience the power of knowledge, not just have the power, just experience it. Because through, I think, reading is one of the fundamental skills that are required, especially for all age groups. That is, and if they sort of, if this skill is inculcated or instilled early on in the child's life, I think they will just have non-stop achievements, or a series of lined up series of achievements, as so to say, so to speak. So I think we can move on to the next one, and then of course we're going to take questions towards the end for sure. So
Yeah.
let's move to the next slide. For me, this was very close to the heart because I truly believe that reading is a miracle. I mean, it acts like a miracle, sort of for any child, especially whether they are struggling or whether they're successful, whether they're competent or not so competent. Especially when we talk about, if you reverse the phrase, what will come up? Can someone tell me, if you reverse the phrase, what will happen? I said, readers are leaders. What if I say, change the whole thing around? तो क्या होगा फिर? क्या बन जाएगा ये?
Leaders are
Yes,
readers.
definitely.
Readers are
That
readers.
means leaders are. That means leaders are readers. That means 100% you can be certain of the fact that all the leaders and they're around how rich people think and how do you actually find successful people world over. When you talk about them, the wealthiest people in the world, they have one thing in common, and that common singular common habit, as you can say, is that they are all are readers. Reading is the single habit that they have in common, and that is also quite simple for that. They're single and it is quite simple. So reading is something which is there, which is embedded in their lives, and they're continuously involved in it regularly. So when we talk about this, we can also show a video on this, as we can play a video. Is that a possibility, G? So let's look at a video regarding all these famous people, G.
I'm not sure. Does the video have sound? I don't know if the sound is playing.
The sound should have, I mean, it
Yeah,
does have sound.
it has sound. Just let me play it again. I think it was. Can you hear
Warren
now?
Buffett once said,
Yes.
the more you learn, the more you earn. That is so true.
Look at successful people like Bill Gates, Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, Oprah, Mark Cuban, and any other highly successful human. They are successful because they use their time right. They are successful because they are lifetime learners. They commit to learning new things every single day. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest humans on the planet, is famous for reading more than 5 hours every day. Bill Gates reads one book per week. Mark Cuban, 3 hours a day. Oprah, well, she's just obsessed with books. Notice a common theme here? Successful people never stop learning.
Think about this. You have $86,400 to spend every single day. But when the day is over, the money disappears. You can't get it back. When you try to spend all of the money before they disappear, when you try to use it wisely, use it as best you could. The sad part is, we only have 86,400 seconds a day, and most people take this time for granted. Most people let this time disappear without a second thought. We never get this time back. We must use it wisely. We must be productive. We must use our time to do things we enjoy, or use it to set up our life so we can spend our future doing more things we want to do. Instead of wasting your time on meaningless things, use it to learn new things.
The time you spend playing video games or partying with your friends will never come back. Once you use that time, it's gone forever. Use your time wisely. Read books. Study hard and learn as much as you can. Most people give up on their dreams because it gets too hard. A lot of students stop chasing their dreams because of one failed test. Matter of fact, most students don't even try their best when they take the test because in their mind, they have already failed the test. They stop believing in themselves, and once the belief is killed, the dream is killed. If you have a dream, you must do everything to make it into reality. It doesn't matter how many times you fail a test. Never stop believing in yourself. Life itself is a test. Sometimes you will fail, but the only way you can be a failure is if you stop trying. Whatever dream you have, use all your energy to make it into reality.
Push yourself to become the person you are destined to become. If you want to get results you have never got before, you are going to have to do things you have never done before.
The richest man in the world, Bill Gates, was once asked which superpower he would like to have. The richest man in the world said that he would want the ability to read books faster. Success is not about the money, the fame, or the big house. It's about becoming the best version of yourself.
You will fall down many times on the road to success. But the most important thing is that you get back up. Get back up stronger and wiser than before. Create a mindset that does not allow you to quit or stop believing. If you quit on your dream and give up, you'll never know how great you can be. Never doubt yourself. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will.
I think that's good. G. All right.
Wow, that was so inspiring. Obviously, we've heard all these things before, but hearing them. The Ammis are saying we need to start an Ammis reading club. So maybe like Shehla can also take some adult Ammis as students.
Of
There is
course.
Yes,
age
why
bracket,
not? Why
right?
not? I think it's important that when we discuss about the fact that lifelong learning, this is an aspect that we need to really look into very deeply as well, because it's important that we need to keep on educating ourselves. It's not that just that till school we have the education; we need to go beyond it as well. So self-education, I think, should be our priority too. That we continuously do that. And one of the 7 habits of highly successful people is sharpening the saw. And I think sharpening the saw is excellent, in the way of keep on reading and reviewing, and looking back at your life and seeing how we can improve ourselves, right? So let's move on to the next one. We have a growth mindset. This was one of the next slides. If we can move on to that, because we are, of course, into time as well. G. So can we have the next slide, kindly?
Yeah, I
I
think,
mentioned.
It's loading.
G.
I think
yeah,
there's
yeah,
some
it's
lag there.
loading.
Okay, great.
So, Shehla,
Uh,
while it's loading, I wanted to ask you one of the questions that had come up.
all
Okay,
right. Okay.
like I think every teacher talks about how reading is important. Like I don't think there's anyone who will say, "Can I reading's not important?" Right? Everybody believes this. But
Right.
what should we do as mothers and as teachers to get our children to be lifelong readers? Like, what do we need to do?
See, the whole point is that when reading starts from the cradle. I will say it very simply. When the child is born, and if you're reading to the child, even when the child is a baby, they will get used to the books, right? If you show them the pictures in the books and you're showing them continuously, even if the baby is lying down and you have that, keep on flipping the pages, keep on showing them the pictures, what will happen is gradually the child will find that kind of attachment to the books. See, it is what you expose the child to. It is very simple to, instill good habits at a very, very small age. Later on it may be a bit difficult to do that, but early on, if the mothers and I think the parents, they make a firm resolution, or they make a firm conviction that they need to expose the child to reading, or they will make them experience the world of reading through the books and through the colors and the colorful pictures and the colorful stories and the different characters and the different whatever the plots are, and so on and so forth. I think that is very crucial, and if we can just start on early. And definitely not only that, that when you actually engaging the child in reading at a very young age, you are actually instilling lifelong habits. Any kind of habit that you start early on is going to be lifelong eventually, because the child will learn to live that way. The child will learn to learn that way. The child will learn to lap on to that, so and leap on rather. तो आई थिंक इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि अगर हम उनको बिल्कुल बचपन से ही, मतलब कि इस तरीके से उनको पढ़ाएं और सिखाएं कि बचपन छोटा सा ही हो तो उसके हाथ में हम किताबें दे दें, उसके हाथ में बुक्स दे दें, उसके हाथ में वो स्टोरीज दें जो उसको शौक है पढ़ने का, उसको कैरेक्टर्स वो दें. Like sometimes boys associate themselves with characters that are they're playing, or the adventurous girls, they want to have more like princess stories or something like that. तो whatever their likes are, I think अगर उनसे हम start करेंगे कि उनकी जो interest है या उनका कोई like है, so I think it will be better for them, because they will of course come and associate themselves with those characters eventually. तो ग्रेजुअली क्या होगा कि उनके, मतलब कि अगर फॉर एग्जांपल हम बुक्स देंगे, तो वो ग्रेजुअली बचपन से उनका हम टाइम थोड़ा सा निकालेंगे कि चले कि ड्यूरिंग द डे कि आप थोड़ा सा रीडिंग कर ले, लेकिन हमको ऐसे नहीं बोले. अगर हम उसको रीड भी करा रहे हैं तो डिफरेंट वेज ऑफ मेकिंग देम रीड. लाइक फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर स्मॉल वी कैन रीड अलाउड टू देम, एक तो नंबर वन हम ये कर सकते हैं, रीडिंग अलाउड हम करें। कभी दिल नहीं चाहता बच्चे का पढ़ने, कोई बात नहीं, नेवर माइंड, व्हाट द पेरेंट कैन डू इज, और द मदर उनके साथ बैठ के उनको रीडिंग अलाउड कर दे उनके लिए। तो क्या होगा कि वो भी सुनते रहेंगे इंटरेस्ट तरीके से, फिर उनको पिक्चर्स भी शो करें, लेट देम गो थ्रू इट। फिर एक और चीज आप कर सकते हैं, क्योंकि अब तो हम ऑनलाइन भी बहुत सारी चीजें कर रहे हैं, तो हम उनकी डिफरेंट वेबसाइट्स होती हैं जहाँ पे इंटरैक्टिव रीडिंग भी हो रही होती है, इसमें ऑडियोज आप लिसन करवा सकते हैं बच्चों को, जिसमें वो रीडिंग अलाउड की ऑडियोज भी आ रही होती हैं। तो वो रीड अलाउड बुक्स है वहाँ पर, तो वहाँ पे जाके वो रीड अलाउड बुक्स भी कर सकते हैं बच्चे हर किस्म की। और फिर क्या होता है, उसके साथ गेम्स भी एसोसिएटेड होती है उन्हीं बुक्स के साथ, या क्विजेज एसोसिएटेड होते हैं। तो बच्चे को ये पता होता है कि फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैं उसके साथ जाके बुक पढ़ूंगा और मैं क्विज अटेम्प्ट करूंगा, मुझे स्टार्स मिलेंगे, तो उसका एक रिवॉर्ड का जो फीलिंग आती है, तो दैट कैन ऑल्सो बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट। सो देयर आर डिफरेंट वेज। तो एक तो आपका फिजिकल रीडिंग हो गया, जिसमें उसकी छोटी सी आप एक घर के अंदर फॉर एग्जाम्पल एक हाउस के अंदर उसकी लाइब्रेरी भी बना सकते हैं, उसकी जो लाइक माइंडेड या उसके इंटरेस्ट या हॉबीज सॉर्ट ऑफ स्परिंग काइंड ऑफ बुक्स है, तो उसको वो लाके थोड़ा सा आप आहिस्ता आहिस्ता, बल्कि आप जब बाहर जाएं तो उसके लिए आपको जरूरी नहीं कि आपको न्यू बुक्स परचेज करनी है। व्हाट यू कैन डू इज आप एक स्टोर में जाके उनके लिए ओल्ड बुक्स भी परचेज कर सकते हैं, 100 रुपीज की आती है आई थिंक, या इवन लेस देन दैट, इवन आई डोंट नो कि व्हाट इज इट आउटसाइड, लेकिन इतनी आप जो है ना उनको सेकंड हैंड बुक्स भी बाय कर सकते हैं, ताकि वो जल्दी जल्दी उनकी लाइब्रेरी भी बन जाए। और उसके बाद क्या हो सकता है, वो रिटर्न करके दे कैन बाय न्यू बुक्स इन केस, एंड और यू कैन जस्ट टेक देम फॉर सिंपल लाइब्रेरी, and वहाँ पर basically every week you can have them this. अच्छा, you can ask them to borrow books from the library and they can bring the books and can read and whatever books they want to read. Initially तो मैं ये कहती हूँ कि आप उनको stop नहीं करना चाहिए, because they have a large appetite for reading as well. तो उनको जो कंटिन्यू करना चाहिए, जो भी उनको पसंद आए, whatever they want to read on, उनको प्रिंसेस पढ़ना है, उनको एडवेंचर पढ़ना है, उनको हॉरर पढ़ना है, राइट, there's more than 100 genres. तो आप जितने भी genres में चाहें उनको आप पढ़ा सकते हैं, there's no issue. I mean they can simply go and borrow those books, and they want to read thin books, they want to read thick books, they want to read medium sized books. प्लीज डोंट टेल देम कि नहीं आपने थिक नॉवल ही पढ़नी है, मे बी उसका दिल नॉवल में नहीं है, ही और शी डजंट वांट टू रीड अ नॉवल। बहुत सारे स्टूडेंट्स हमारे पास आते हैं, हमें इतनी बड़ी नॉवेल्स नहीं पढ़नी है, नो इश्यू, नहीं पढ़े नॉवल, कोई बात नहीं, आप कोई थिन बुक से स्टार्ट करें, लेकिन आप कंटिन्यूसली रीडिंग करें, कोई ना कोई इंटरेस्टिंग हो। आप मतलब आप देखिए, देयर आर टू टाइप्स ऑफ रीडिंग। आप एक तो इंटेंसिव रीडिंग होती है, एक्सटेंसिव रीडिंग होती है, ठीक है। अब आपको देखना पड़ेगा कि आप उस पर ऑप्ट क्या करें। अब हम इंटेंसिव की जब रीडिंग की बात करें तो उसमें कॉर्स बुक्स आ जाती हैं, टेक्स्ट बुक्स आ जाती है। इंटेंसिव इसलिए हम उनको कह रहे हैं क्योंकि उसमें बहुत ज़्यादा थ्योरी रिलेटेड होता है, उसमें बहुत सारी लर्निंग पर हाथ होती है। और एक्सटेंसिव मीन्स वो पढ़े जाए पढ़े जाए पढ़े जाए, ठीक है। दैट मीन्स बहुत सारी बुक्स पढ़ेंगे, नॉट नेसेसरली कि वो लर्निंग में ही इम्प्लीमेंट हों वो बुक्स। तो आपकी रीडिंग की भी डिफरेंट कैटेगरीज होते हैं, आपकी लाइट रीडिंग भी होती है, आपकी हैवी रीडिंग भी होती है। तो वट एवर द चाइल्ड इज कंफर्टेबल विद, जो भी उसको स्पोर्ट्स के ऊपर रीड करना है उसको स्पोर्ट्स के ऊपर रीड करने दें, उसको मतलब कोई और मतलब कुकिंग पे रीड करना कुकिंग पे रीड करने दें, उन वांट टू रीड अबाउट हाउ टू मेक गैजेट्स वगैरह, हाउ टू वाली बुक्स रीड करनी है, हाउ टू वाली बुक्स या आर्टिकल्स रीड करने दें, मोस्ट वेलकम टू डू दैट। So I think initially we should just allow this children to have that kind of palette in front of them, that kind of a range in front of them, कि हम उनको हम लोग बात बात पे नहीं बोले कि हम, we should not judge, we should not judge their reading, because जब हम जज करने लगेंगे उसकी रीडिंग को तो वो रीडिंग बल्कि इंक्रीज से वो डिक्रीज पे आ जाता है। तो because the child is जी तो हम
amazing points that you've given us, like all the ammis are agreeing with you and they're saying, you know, all these are like really like what ammis aim to do with children. So some of them are wondering what growth mindset is, because the slide is up there. So can you talk a little bit about it?
Okay, the whole point is that first of all, when we talk about any kind of growth mindset, the word itself, the term itself, growth, it means that, you know, something to do with grow. Grow means like to progress. Okay, progress, that means to move forward, right? To mature, right? It can have different synonyms attached to it, different kind of words. So growth mindset means that you give them having that kind of fertile environment in the house as well. Now, the whole point is that if you look at the first thing I've said over here, a ship can only sail if it has a strong captain. Now, for sure, that means that a ship can only sail if it has a strong, that means that the mothers need to become also role models in that case. If we talk about the growth mindset in that sense that, you know, that they can grow, they can flourish, they can help their children up, they can increase, tap into their abilities, see what works with them, and give those kind of activities to the children so that they can lap on, they get interested. See, this is a very a thin line over here when we talk about the fact that, when we talk about reading, and then we talk about the fact that, how do you motivate them towards reading. So over here, we can have to make sure that we are actually, being very sort of smart here, that when we introduce the child to reading, we're introducing them to the kind of books that we would eventually want them to read, but keeping the interest in mind. So gradually, we also have to play a role. That means we also should be readers. So that the entire household is like, coming into that mindset that we are developing gradually, and whatever they're reading, we make them think on that reading as well. We make them review on that whatever they have learned. So they may be reflect on it, whatever they have, read, so that gradually they learn to, come up, and they know that this is they're experiencing that. So gradually we have to, as mothers, I feel we have to engage them in that sense, and we have to make sure that we need to adopt these kind of qualities in us as well. If the mother show them the way to lead, or show them that this is the right way, the children will progress in that direction. But if the mother is not disciplined enough, if the mother is not dedicated enough, if the mother is not determined enough, if the mother doesn't know, is not decisive enough, then definitely that will also reflect on the children. So we have to also look into that aspect. Ji, I hope I
Very
made myself clear.
yes, very true. So do you have more slides, or is this the end and
Yes,
we
we
can
do. We
ask
do.
questions?
No, there is. There are. Oh, you have 20 minutes. We've hit 20 minutes. Okay.
Yeah,
I
so
think
I
I
guess
have.
let's move quickly. Yes.
Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Heightens. Now, this see, the whole point is the reading heightens the senses. By this, we mean that the child is able to experience everything he reads, he or she reads. Now, the whole thing is that we have to, whatever scenes and situations the child is reading about, they want to apply this in their own lives as well. For example, they've learned something new in the book, they will love to apply it as well. They've learned how to cook something, perhaps, right, in that particular book, or how a character cooked something. Now they would want to go in the kitchen and want to try it out. And even when they are going through that descriptive or that imagery of the book, if the entire scene is laid out in front of them, where for example, there's a scene by the river. Now, for the water is gushing, it is flowing. There are rocks on the side of it. The different kind of language that is being used, during that description of the scene, the image that is created by that scene of that the refreshing, being that is refreshed, it rejuvenates, it revives, it all these feelings also relived by the reader. So whatever the characters are going through in the book, and so it also makes the observation very, very keen. They become very it sort of tunes the observation. It increases. Heightens is a word which is also used in content writing as well. तो heighten का है कि they increase it, they scale it up, वो improve हो जाता है उनका स्किल, के वो बहुत observant हो जाते हैं हर चीज को. अगर कोई छोटी सी भी चीज डिस्क्राइब करनी हो तो वो उसको एक डेप्थ और डिटेल में डिस्क्राइब करेंगे. तो अगर कोई भी फॉर एग्जांपल कोई चेयर का भी उनको कलर होना चाहिए, चेयर का शेप होना चाहिए, उसका साइज होना चाहिए, उसका फील होना चाहिए. डिफरेंट काइंड ऑफ सेंसेस के थ्रू जो हम एक बात करते हैं कि उसकी जो सेंसोरियल डिटेल्स हैं वो भी इसमें ऐड हो जाती हैं, जो आप लोग स्मेल के थ्रू, टच के थ्रू, सी के थ्रू, टेस्ट के थ्रू, हियर के थ्रू जो करते हैं, जो डिफरेंट वर्ड्स या वोकैबुलरी फॉर एग्जांपल यूज हो रही होती है, वो सब चीजें इसके अंदर आ जाती हैं. तो ये उनके सेंसेस बिल्कुल अवेकन करते हैं, अराउज करते हैं, उनको रिवाइव करते हैं, whatever you may call it. तो ये सब चीज़ें रीडिंग के थ्रू होती हैं, बिकॉज इनका इतना ब्यूटीफुल तरीके से या इतने अमेजिंग तरीके से या इतने the entire thing is laid out. So we can move on to the next slide. I think everybody got the point, hopefully. Ji, can you social simulation? Definitely रीडिंग हमारी सोशल स्किल्स को जरूर सिमुलेट करती है. स्टूडेंट्स आर सपोज्ड टू डेफिनेटली अब जब हम रीडिंग कर रहे होते हैं तो उनकी लैंग्वेज एक्विजिशन जो होती है, जो उसकी जो वर्ड्स न्यू वर्ड्स लर्न कर रहे होते हैं वो उनको यूज भी करना चाहते हैं. जो बच्चा वर्ड लर्न करता है रीडिंग के थ्रू या रीड करता है उस वर्ड को, वो चाहता है कि वो अपनी सेंटेंस फॉर्मेशन में यूज करे, वो चाहता है कि वो अपने जब बात कर रहा तो वो वर्ड यूज करे, क्योंकि उसने एक न्यू वर्ड लर्न किया होता है, राइट। तो जो भी होता है कि वो सोशली भी अवेयर हो जाता है उस वर्ड के बारे में, मैं इसका यूसेज क्या, उसका एप्लीकेशन कैसे मैं करूंगा, डिफरेंट सिचुएशन में वो कैसे वोकैबुलरी यूज होगी, या वो फ्रेज कब यूज होगा। बहुत सारे फ्रेजेस इवॉल्व भी हो रहे होते हैं विद द पैसेज ऑफ टाइम, तो वो किस तरीके से यूज हो रहे होते हैं। देखिए, मैं रीडिंग को लिमिट नहीं करना चाहती हूँ भैया, अगर कोई कहेंगे जी रीडिंग लिमिटेड है, आई वुड नॉट से ओनली टू द बुक्स, आई वुड से कि रीडिंग इज एवरीवेयर। देखिए, आपको ये नहीं समझे कि हम रीडिंग खाली बुक्स के जरिए कर रहे हैं, वी ऑल्सो रीडिंग थ्रू आवर सोशल मीडिया। हम रीडिंग कर रहे हैं, हर जगह हमारे वर्ड्स अपीयर हो रहे हैं, हम सब टाइटल्स के थ्रू रीडिंग कर रहे होते हैं, मूवीज देख रहे होते हैं, उसमें सब टाइटल था तो हम रीड भी तो उसी चीज को कर रहे होते हैं ना। तो हर जगह हमारी रीडिंग अवेयरनेस आ रही होती है, और हमारी रीडिंग अवेकनिंग आ रही होती है, हमारी रीडिंग स्टिमुलेशन हो रही होती है हर जगह पर। तो हम सोशली भी अवेयर हो रहे होते हैं, बहुत सारे वर्ड्स, फ्रेजेस, उनकी सिचुएशन, सिनेरियोज को डिस्क्राइब कैसे किया जा रहा है, उनके रेफर कैसे हो रहे हैं उस चीज़ों के ऊपर। तो बहुत सारी चीज़ें हम उसके थ्रू भी लर्न करते हैं। हम सुपरमार्केट जाते हैं तो वहाँ पर बहुत सारे हमें रीडिंग करनी पड़ती है, शेल्फ्स के ऊपर डिफरेंट आइटम्स रखे होते हैं, ग्रोसरीज रीड करनी होती है, हमें पता होना चाहिए हर एक का नाम क्या है, उसके थ्रू भी हम रीडिंग, मैनुअल्स को हम रीड कर रहे होते हैं, हमें कुछ चीज़ ऑपरेट करना होता है, हम ट्यूटोरियल्स देख रहे होते हैं, उसमें भी कभी कोई रीडिंग के थ्रू हमें बहुत सारी पीडीएफ वर्जन्स मिल रहे होते हैं, तो हम उस चीज को भी रीड कर रहे हैं। तो बच्चे तो आई थिंक आजकल बहुत ज्यादा रीडिंग कर रहे होते हैं, नॉट ओनली द चिल्ड्रन आर रीडिंग बट ऑल्सो द अडल्ट्स ऑल्सो इन्वॉल्व इन द सिमिलर एक्टिविटीज। तो आई थिंक रीडिंग इससे सोशली तो हर एक ही अवेयर हो रहा था थ्रू रीडिंग। सो आई मीन, एंड ऑफ कोर्स हमारी जो ब्रेन का जो सेल है वो भी डेफिनेटली ट्रिगर होते हैं जब भी हम we come across something, so we try to figure out the meaning of the words, we try to figure out कि ये word how will it be used, तो usage उसकी आ जाती है, we figure it out, we try to find the solution for that as well and we use it। देखिए, हमारी pleasure किस चीज़ में है, हमारी pleasure इस चीज़ में है कि हम उसकी word को use correct तरीके से कैसे करेंगे। There are also there are many different ways of using the words, लेकिन if we use it correctly and in a very powerful way, by the way, तो हमारा we will convey our message, because it's all about the conveying and communicating these days। हमारी communication skills they have to be top notch, ठीक है, 100% we need to be effective communicators, because see अभी भी organization में अगर देखा जाए तो more than anything else आपका IQ तो एक चीज है, लेकिन आपका EQ दूसरी चीज है। तो अगर आपकी इमोशनल क्वोशिएंट इतनी स्ट्रांग होगी तो डेफिनेटली आपकी सक्सेस लेवल भी उतना हाई होगा। अगर आप डील कर सकते हैं वेरियस सिचुएशंस एंड सिनेरियोज में, तो फॉर श्योर आपको रीडिंग भी तो सोल्यूशन प्रोवाइड कर रहा होता है। जरूरी है कि आपका एक्सपीरियंस इतना ज्यादा हो, लेकिन अगर आप रीड करके उस सोल्यूशन फाइंड कर लेते हैं उस इश्यू या प्रॉब्लम का, तो व्हाट एल्स यू नीड। तो इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी कि लॉट ऑफ एक्सपीरियंस दीस डेज, तो ये बिल्कुल रिवर्स चला गया है। अब तो हमें इतने वेटरन्स नहीं चाहिए होते, अब तो यंग पीपल आर कमिंग अप एंड दे हैव द सॉल्यूशंस टू द प्रॉब्लम। हाउ डू दे हैव द सॉल्यूशंस? Because sometimes they're voracious readers, they are those readers that are able to read so in depth ताकि वो solutions find कर लें problems का। वो books read करते हैं, manuals read करते हैं, वो social media को search करते हैं, Google के research articles पढ़ते हैं, health notes पे जाते हैं, वो सब चीजें read कर रहे थे क्योंकि उनको solution चाहिए। young children they hacking, I'm sorry to say I don't should not use it, but games तक वो लोग उनके कैसे how do we win the game फॉर एग्जाम्पल, तो उसके भी इतने सारे वेज होते हैं, उसको भी जाके वो रीड करते हैं, अच्छा उसने कैसे प्ले किया उस गेम को तो ही अराइव्ड एट द कंक्लूजन, या वो कैसे उसने कैसे प्ले किया तो ही यू नो, सो दे आर आल्सो रीडिंग अप अ लॉट ऑफ ways of unlocking the games, of unlocking solutions, levels को unlock करने के लिए बहुत सारा reading हो रही होती है। तो हर form I think at every levels reading, across levels reading is being done। जी, can we move on?
Yeah,
अब help out भी करते हैं जी, I think, yeah, shall we? Next slide kindly। So yeah, children, no, the previous one, the previous one। Children learn to lead. This is very interesting. They're continuously building the skill of putting themselves। देखिए, लर्न टू लीड का ओवर हियर दे आर बेसिकली हमें एक चीज और जो रीडिंग मोस्ट इम्पोर्टेंटली जो हमें टीच करती है वो ये है कि वी लर्न थ्रू रोल प्लेज एज वेल। रोल प्लेज आर समथिंग व्हेन यू एक्चुअली पुट योरसेल्फ इन द शूज ऑफ द कैरेक्टर्स। और आप जब उसके अंदर जाते देखते कि वो कैरेक्टर ने कैसे सिचुएशंस को डील किया, सिनेरियोज को देखा, हर चीज को देखा, तो मतलब उसके थ्रू बच्चे जो है ना लीड करना सीखते हैं. मे बी देर आर ग्रुप लीडर्स, उन मे बी उन कैरेक्टर्स के बारे में पढ़ें जहाँ पे ग्रुप ऑफ चिल्ड्रन है, उसके अंदर कोई लीडर्स हैं, उनके अंदर कुछ ऐसी क्वालिटीज हैं जिसके अंदर वो डिसीजन मेकिंग सीख रहे हैं. वो ये सीख रहे हैं कि हम एक डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन में, सो हाउ डू वी कम आउट ऑफ दैट डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशन. तो वो रोल प्ले करते हैं. बहुत सारी डिफरेंट stories are turned into, transformed into entire plays, performances on stage. तो बहुत ज्यादा performances भी बच्चे कर रहे होते हैं जिसमें dialogues होते हैं, जिसमें वो they try to take up the qualities of those characters. और अगर वो अगर protagonist होते हैं, like अगर main characters होते हैं, तो definitely वो जाके जो प्रोजेक्ट करते हैं अपने आप को ऑन स्टेज, so they outshine others, you know. So ये बहुत ज्यादा चीज है कि रोल प्ले के थ्रू भी they learn to lead, they build confidence, उनका कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड होता है कि अगर हम इस कैरेक्टर को परफॉर्म करेंगे, so they're learning different kind of skills, imitation सीख रहे होते हैं, mimicry सीख रहे होते हैं, and you know, they're able to project themselves in a way that they will imbibe those skills within themselves, and likewise grow. इसमें भी ग्रोथ का एलिमेंट आता है फॉर श्योर. तो दे डेफिनेटली दे कॉन्स्टेंटली बिल्डिंग एंड दे आर वेरी इफेक्टिवली ट्राइंग टू मूव फॉरवर्ड. तो जब भी तो हम कहते हैं कि प्रोजेक्ट बेस्ड एजुकेशन है, हमारी प्रेजेंटेशंस बहुत ज़्यादा काउंट करती है एजुकेशन में, बिकॉज हम बच्चों को यही तो सिखा रहे होते हैं कि कंटिन्यूसली देर आर न्यू थिंग्स कमिंग इन, और फिर उसको हम किस तरीके से लेके चलेंगे. लाइज बात है, हम रीडिंग कर रहे होते हैं उन सिनेरियोज के बारे में, फिर हम उनको प्रैक्टिकली अप्लाई कैसे करेंगे, और उसकी जो प्रैक्टिकल एप्लीकेशन होती है, द प्रैग्मेटिक अप्रोच दैट वी से, तो उस तरीके से फिर हम उसको बच्चों को सिखा सकते हैं. सो इट्स इम्पोर्टेंट कि वो भी लर्न टू लीड भी सीख लेते हैं. उनके अंदर दे विल बिल्ड दैट काइंड ऑफ level of you know, confidence in them for communication and for leading their off and be successful communicators. Ji, shall we move on? Yeah, another slide kindly.
I think we
Okay.
lost.
We lost someone.
Yes, we lost the presentation. We lost the
Okay, we
presentation.
lost the presentation. Something rather, we lost the presentation completely. Okay, definitely.
I think let's start wrapping up.
Let me start with the question. I think because
Yeah, should we start with the questions? Okay.
there's an echo.
Okay, so the first question that people are wondering is that, do you think digital reading is as beneficial as reading from a books? Should we recommend to, like, is it okay if students are reading, you know, Kindle and also reading off the screen, or is there a benefit to reading from a book?
Yes. I would definitely go for that, because there's a lot of Kindle, there's a lot of e-learning, ebooks that are available as well. So it's important that we give them that kind of exposure as well. Ultimately, this entire world is moving towards technological transformation as well, and gradually we enter into the digital realms. So it's important that children should be exposed to that. Now the question is, to what extent? Now the whole point is we cannot allow that much of exposure to the screens as well, and it's also very damaging sometimes. So we need to have a very sort of a balance, and that we need to create. So you can give them physical books. If they're happy with that, that is fine. We need to look at the happiness of children. See, in reading also we have to look at the happiness of children, and we need to do that. And even if they do e-book reading and they do e-learning as through Kindle, I think there is no harm in it, as long as they're reading for to sort of rekindle their interests and so on and so forth. I think it is fine. But yes, then they can have a balance, because all the books are available. I mean, all kinds of books are there on the digital platforms as well. Sometimes they don't want to spend the money, so it is fine. They can go and read it, and I think most of them are also free sites that they offer reading. So there's no harm in it. I don't think so, unless they're concerned about their vision. G.
Adding to that, I think there's good screen time, healthy screen time, bad screen time. So
yeah, so you need to be careful about that. I think the
exactly.
balance needs to be met.
Yes, and we'll be launching an ebook very soon on healthy diet, kind of an.
I think it's important. It's important.
So do watch out for that as well.
And I think
Wow.
this is the way forward, and nowadays especially, G.
Great. So the second question for you, Shehla, is that what do you think of audiobooks? Are audiobooks as
Okay.
essential or not as essential? Should we make children get used to the habit of reading or listening or both?
It's important. See, you have four skills in English. When you talk about LSRW, we have listening, speaking, reading, and writing. Even when you're going for the IELTS test, internationally, worldwide, globally, whatever you may say. So you definitely have these four skills that you need to develop in the students. That means that you need to have, again, you need to expose them to all of these skills, and you need to develop these skills rather. So definitely listening is one of the very crucial skills that children need to also develop. So audiobooks, they play a huge role in this, that you make the students listen to the, or children listen to the audiobooks, and they will grasp something out of it because they'll be keenly tuned into it. It is not always like reading as such, but they will also develop their listening skills. And then what you can follow it up with is a quiz or an exercise or a worksheet or something like that to reinforce that what they learn, or just ask them to sort of retell whatever they heard on the audio. So this can also be one of the ways that they're retelling. So retelling a story is also interesting. I think it's also motivating to the students. They're able to recap everything. Gee, there's no. I think all four skills need to be developed. Gee.
Right. Shayla, a couple of the mothers want to know that what age group do you teach? Like if they want to sign up with you, and also like how do you like are you a creative writing expert, a comprehension? Do you do a mixture of
Okay,
both?
my writing is my forte actually. I'm a very passionate, I think, writer because I've been always doing that throughout, and I've developed this very, to the thing because I've written on all kinds of genres. I'm now a content writer as well, and I've written for multiple websites too. Yes, and I'm also academically inclined. So I've taught. I'm more like towards the. Um, I mean, my age groups are more like older. All right, so I'm taking like maybe O levels and above. So that is what my forte. I take college levels. I take children who are till O levels as well, and I can take that. So GG, O and levels and up.
So one mother wants to know, would you take a younger child or you wouldn't? That's not something you're
No,
interested
I
in.
will not be taking no, but there will be, of course, other teachers on board definitely who will be taking younger children on board and developing their writing skills because writing is very crucial. Definitely, your people will be giving exams in writing as well, and your written expression matters. That is something which is there because a person who is able to, a child who is able to be very persuasive and expressive when they're writing, they will definitely get an A star. I will say it very categorically because a lot of people may not say this, but I say it very. I think it makes a difference. If a person who is able to write very well is able to persuade and give a very convincing argument, will definitely get in. That's the difference between A and an A star. Gee.
Absolutely. Okay, the next question is that can you give us some tips, like some general tips on how to improve creative writing in children? Obviously, you're talking to a group of mothers whose children are all ages, right? From like babies
Definitely.
to
Gee.
obviously married children and grandmoms. So, are there any, like, besides reading that we've understood,
Well,
is there
I
anything
think
else?
for creative writing, I should have another session with you people on writing only, and I will see some of my samples as well, definitely. Yes, the whole point is for creative writing, the only tip I want to give. I had written an article a long time back. It's called "The Fear of the Blank Page," fear of the white paper or the blank page. Now that is something that the students always have that what to say, what to begin. So I think the best way is to just maintain a log and a diary. And diary writing is something that this children should be made habitual of, and they should be made used to of that. They should be writing diaries. That means they should maintain a diary. Whatever they want to write throughout the day, they can keep on writing. So no one see. Well, again, the same thing. You don't judge the children. Well, so but let them write, let them express freely. Now, something give them the freedom to express themselves. All the writing is not marked. Please, that is something that unfortunately we have in our minds that all the writing has to be marked, has to be checked, all the errors have to be taken out, all the punctuation, all the spelling, all the grammatical, all the mechanic have to be taken. No, 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 no. What you need to do is simply just give them free hand on writing. If you, as long as you give them the free hand to write, let them write, let them write wrong. Eventually, they will fall in love with writing. But if you only allow them to do that, okay, we are too judgmental actually. Gee. So
Aisha,
diary is a good way. Gee.
next week
Yeah.
we are scheduled for another session with Shella. So I think that is also on reading, but let's switch it with the writing session. How about that?
Yes. Yeah. And
Yeah.
Shella, maybe we can also do like a little bit of a demo if that's something that we can discuss later on and have some students like
Definitely.
pre-register
Yes, I
and
would.
actually
I
do
would.
like a
Okay, no issues. Definitely, whatever. Gee.
Perfect.
And Shella,
So,
the last question for you is that since you mentioned you're an O-level teacher, some people
I'm
want to
actually
know.
all levels teacher. I would say O and above.
O and above.
Gee.
Okay, so
Yeah.
what do you recommend for O level students nowadays? Because obviously there's a big mess. People like the students don't know कि exams कब हो रहे हैं. You know, so what should they be doing? Should they be giving themselves a break? Should they be writing every day? Like any tips? Because obviously these are unprecedented times, and O level, A level students are suffering the most.
I will just try to just leave with a statement: practice makes perfect, and this goes for all languages, by the way. So I think they need to indulge in a lot of practicing a lot of topics, especially the CIE papers and everything. They need to practice on the narrative writing is something which is there because you have two topics of narrative writing. So you have more a percentage is higher there. All right, and then you have comprehensions, and definitely you have directed writing. So as long as they keep on practicing on different topics, they can do it every day. They can practice a topic or so, and then they can read up a lot of sample essays actually. So that helps a lot because if you read so many sample essays, you know what the CIE is looking for, right? So read up what are the A star essays, what are the A essays, what are they looking for, what is their structure, how are the paragraph formed, how do they start, how do they end. It is something which is there. So please let them practice a lot. Please, they cannot just sit idle because it is not a possibility, especially for children. Because idle minds, as you know, they're just collecting dust. That's about it. So I think it's important that they should indulge in reading, and they should also write every day at least. Practice writing. That is a must. On the only the genres that are there in the CIE. I'm not talking about everything. There's I think only descriptive writing is there, narrative is there, and then you have directed writing, and you have a comprehension and summary. Summary with आपका note making is simple. So that is there. G.
Achha,
So
some of
past
the
papers
mothers
are
are asking for reading lists. So maybe, Adil, is it possible for Shehla to give you the reading list and you upload them on the InstaTUTE app? So if you could possibly like give reading lists for
yes, I can give reading list for all levels.
that
Yes.
would be amazing. And you could just give them to Adil and Adil can upload them. So like the 10 to 12, the 12 to 14, the 8 to 10, because since kids are home, mothers want to buy books. That would be amazing if you have access to like free downloads of books. Like, so Adil, this is something you could look into because even as a mom, I am looking for like
yeah.
what books should my sons be reading. So since Shehla is an expert, we could have the Shehla recommended book list
Of
available
course.
within Pakistan. Like
Of
hopefully,
course.
Shehla, you can choose books from Liberty Books, and
Definitely.
yeah, and then we can upload it. So everybody who's watching and asking for the reading list, maybe in a week, Adil.
Of course, we can do that.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we
Yes, we
will.
can compile the list definitely accordingly.
Yeah, and these will be books that are available at Liberty Books. So, you know, and you never know, Institute might be able to get you like a good discount from Liberty Books. So आपको
Sure, we can try that.
recommendation भी मिल जाएगी, discount भी मिल जाएगा. So
Definitely, we can try.
all in all.
Great.
Okay,
I just
great.
want to add something over here that before we leave, I just want to add one thing that especially for the mothers who want their children, now we can arrange some classes for that as well later on, inshallah, right? And we can teach them on writing too, because writing, especially for the senior level, is more or less same towards the O levels as they go. So that means if they start from the grade 8 onwards, and we can have that kind of students with us who really want to develop their writing skills and want to become sort of proficient in those, that can happen very much. Ji.
Great. Acha, Adil, a couple of the moms, because we told them that if you download and register by 6:30, you get the 1,000 rupee credit. So a couple of them are having problems like
Mhm.
downloading. So
Okay.
what do you do?
They can get in touch with us. So, I mean, I can help them out. It's not a problem. We can just keep the 1,000 rupee credit active for the entire day.
Oh,
Uh, so that's not a
and a
problem.
couple of them are unsure कि हमने download कर लिया है, but अब registration. So I think you said that are we going to do a walkthrough of the app right now?
Yes, so that's why Mr. Wajiz is here. So he will share his screen and then he can show on the app exactly how they can do it. So we can do that now.
Okay, and like for example, one woman has done everything, like she's filled in all the details, but the app isn't letting her move forward.
Okay. If they can just share the screenshots through email, I'll post the email under this in the banner. Ticker में मैं चला देता हूँ. So they can just write an email to me with a screenshot, and then we can look into it.
Great, great. And then will everybody get an email of how the 1,000 rupee credit works?
It's already credited in the account when they create the account, and it's available in the menu. So Mr. Wajid can show you how it appears on the app.
Okay, perfect.
Okay. Perfect. So let's connect Mr. Wajid. Mr. Wajid, can you share your screen for the app?
So how? Just a minute. Maybe I cannot screen through my mobile phone. Actually, laptop goes off.
Okay, so let me try. Aisha, let me see if I can connect my phone to this, but I know
Sure.
how to do it through Zoom, but I'm not sure about this. Let me see.
No problem at all.
So I think it's difficult to
So,
share
Shehla,
the.
are you also doing like group classes, or is it mainly one-on-one, the way you teach?
No, we can take in groups, no issues with that.
And in Karachi right now, is it like considered summer vacations, or are online
No,
classes?
their schools are open. Schools are open and online classes are progressing, and by the end of July.
So your summer vacations will be in
No,
August.
we've already had a summer. No, summer vacations are done in May, April, and May.
Achha,
According to
ours
the
are-
government.
I think Istra Lahore is a little different. So ours are just like now.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, we were in school throughout April and May.
No, it's actually because of COVID-19. No, that's about it.
Yeah, hamara
Because
bhi
there was
with
a change.
COVID. Yeah, they've like completely. It's been like hard.
Aisha, can we do a demo tomorrow for the app walkthrough?
Of course,
Yeah,
of course.
I think
We are back to.
it will be easier on the Zoom. So I think
Yeah,
Zoom ke
and I'll
saath-
just tell the moms. So Adil is saying if you're having a problem signing up, don't worry. You will still get the 1,000 rupee credit.
Of course.
Yeah, so you like I've seen screenshots that you were trying to sign in over Nayua. So you will still get it. So that won't go away at all. And the book list will be up in a week from Shehla. And Shehla, if you have any like sample essays, I don't know if you're okay sharing, but it would be great to have like examples of writings also. But of course, only if you're okay sharing them. Otherwise,
I don't mind. They can go and visit the websites. I've got like innumerable blogs there, and I've got all kinds of writing that I've done for and I've also written my own essays and everything. So all of it is there. I think we can wait till next week and then we'll reveal it, inshallah. Right? If we have a session next week. What do you think?
Sure. Good. Yeah, absolutely. Let's do the reading list this week, and then we could do like the writing
Yes, we
next
can move
week.
on to the writing.
So great. Well, some of the mothers are saying also give reading lists for like younger kids, like 5 to 7.
We will. Yes.
Great,
keep
not just
sharing.
O-level.
Yes,
Well,
we
thank
keep
you
sharing
so much,
content.
Shehla. It was such a delight
Take care
to
of
have
yourself.
you. Like, really amazing to hear from you, and your ideas and everything was really fantastic. And of course, thank you, Adil, for putting together such an amazing app. And
Thank
I
you
know
so
the
much.
Ammis are getting really excited. A lot of them have downloaded during this session. So, I want them to start trying it out, because like the proof's in the pudding. So once they try it out, hopefully they'll be hooked. So thank you, both of you.
Thank you
Yes,
so
we
much,
will be
Aisha,
there,
for having us.
inshallah.
And
Definitely.
would be back, I think, tomorrow with more sessions, 2 more sessions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. So everybody who's watching, Weekends of Joy is continuing for the next couple of weekends, and we have loads of exciting things. So tune in around the same time every weekend, and you'll see lots. We've
Tomorrow's
uploaded.
session, yes, tomorrow's session will be an interesting one for early
Yes.
year kids, yeah,
Yeah.
and the
Absolutely.
parents as well. Yeah,
So we're looking forward to it. Thank you.
perfect. Thank you. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care of yourselves. Okay, assalamualaikum.